first comedian of the evening. This means so much. All right, please join me in giving a big round of applause to the very funny Dr. K, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's getting 10.
Hey! Hey! We're all getting 10.
Is that a time limit or a rating? How you doing, James? Yep. Vietnamese dude. I have a theory about the Vietnamese. I'm not talking about James because he obviously was named over here. Not a lot of people in Vietnam named James. But I have this theory that Vietnamese people name themselves. Vietnamese people name themselves. Also, a theory that this mic may be messed up a little.
You might need to hold it in the cord so the cord plugged into it.
Oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, the Vietnamese people name themselves. That's why all their first names sounds like the first sound a baby makes. You know? Twee! What's your name? Ka? What's your name? Cool? It's my sister Ford. I also have a theory about Mexicans. Mexican women. They take pride in their virginity. Yes, they want everybody to think they're virgins. Some of them, even when they're pregnant. They want you to think they're a virgin, so they name their baby Jesus. Food. I was married for 20 years, until about 3 years ago. After 20 years of marriage, my wife filed for divorce in January of 2009. Late January. Why didn't you tell me that when you called 2001? Late January, she filed for divorce on the day after the Martin Luther King holiday. And all I could say was, free at last! Free at last! Praise God Almighty, I'm free at last! I have a wet dream! I love it. I said, you didn't just say that, did you? But being single in your 40s is a trip, you know? I tried going out to this bar. I was living in Alabama at the time. This bar called Club 44 in Daphne, Alabama. And there's about 6 different women I would meet over there, and they were always the wrong kind. You had A, old enough to be my mother. B, young enough to be my daughter. C, married. D, lesbian. E, sexually attracted to black guys. Or F, acts like a lesbian after 3 or 4 drinks. Those were the 6 kinds of women I would meet at Club 44. Now, let's regress here. F is only okay if she's sober. E, that doesn't work because I'm white. D, lesbian, that doesn't work because I'm male. C, I don't mess with married women. B, what was that? Young enough to be my daughter? And A was old enough to be B was old enough to be my mother, which I don't do. It's kind of like, have you ever heard the term MILF? Yeah. M-I-L-F. What does M-I-L-F stand for? Right. Now, usually that's a term used by guys in their 20s who are describing a sexy woman in her 40s. But I'm 46. When you're my age, one man's MILF is another man's GILF. And I wrote that in 2009. I didn't steal it. Anyway. So that's why B, young enough to be my daughter, is out of the question, because I don't want to be anybody's filth. So I said, you know, forget this. I'm just going to shoot some pool. And so I was shooting pool with this guy, Mark, a DJ. And Mark, I learned when shooting pool that guys Well, Mark, first of all, he was black and he was dancing with this woman named Tia. Now, this woman named Tia was both. She was both. I guess since she was dancing with Mark, she was an E, but I also know she was an F. Acts like a lesbian after 3 or 4 drinks. So her idea of a perfect date was an evening at the bar with RuPaul. It's like, bartender, give her a martini. But anyway, Mark danced with her, and then later I danced with her while she was still sober. And then Mark shot some pool. Now, what I noticed is that guys play pool in the same style in which they dance. You see, I'm kind of a finesse kind of guy. It's going to work while I'm out here. Kind of slow, gentle, tantalizing, titillating. So when I score, I poke it slowly in the hole. In pool, I mean, not dancing. Y'all are sick. But Mark was the aggressive, bump and grind, kind of guy, and he's breaking, so boom, because he gets too much juice on his balls. And in pool, I mean, some people in here have to have their brains washed out with soap. What I'm saying is, he thrusts his stick too hard and ends up scratching on his balls. In pool, you perverts! But I think if people dance, y'all need to laugh a little louder so my iPhone can hear you. I don't want people on YouTube to think I'm bombing. Thank you. Fellow comics came in and bailed me out. I think if people are going to play pool the same way they dance, then I think the pool table etiquette should be, or the dance floor etiquette should be the same as the pool table etiquette. Instead of asking a woman to dance or buying her a drink, you just put 4 quarters on the table and wait for your turn. By the way, be sure to take care of your bartender tonight. He's working real hard for you. That guy, he makes rusty nails that are so good, people need a tetanus shot after drinking them. But you got to watch out for his sex on the beach, because you might get sand crabs. And he's got one drink that combines the ingredients of sex on the beach with that of an Alabama slammer. It's called a Gulf Shores conjugal visit. But I don't drink alcohol. Let that one sink in. But I don't drink alcohol. And there's a reason for that. I am living proof that someone can say stupid things, fall asleep at inappropriate times, drive badly, and flunk out of college while sober. So I figured giving me alcohol would be like giving Viagra to Tiger Woods. I know, 1982 just called me, wanted a song back. Tiger Woods on the final green. Last hole, keep your pants on. You know the distance and you know when to stop, 'cause that TV camera shows you live. So many times it happens too fast. You make that putt and get horny. Don't use your wedge in some woman's sand trap, 'cause your wife will make you forget how to drive. And the fly of the tiger will be open tonight. He just might pull out his 9 iron if he looks looks up your fairway, don't you put up a fight. You're the woman that opened the flight of the tiger. Second place is kind of neat. You get handsomely paid. But a championship is so much more sweet, and you stand a better chance of getting laid. And the fly of the tiger will be open tonight. He just might pull out his 9-iron. If he looks up your fairway, don't you put up a fight. You're the woman that's opened the fly of the tiger. God bless. Good night.
Hit the button on that, would you? That was with tears in my eyes.